You trying to get mommy phone? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Five, throwing to the nine.
Hey, yo, Snoop.
Oh, what up, Dre?
Hey, I don't think you counting right.
I'ma be for Rizzo with you, Dre.
What up, dog?
I don't know how to count past one.
You ain't been watching Sesame Street?
When I watched it, they only got to the number one. So I was gonna chill to the next episode.
It's all good, I'm a baby. Hey, what's up, Biggie? You know how to count past one? Oh, bro, one time I was counting and reading the magazine. For real? And then I woke up and realized it was all a dream. Many men wish snaps upon me. Tears in my eyes, dog, and I can't see.
Oh, what up, nephew?
What up, gangsta?
I know you know how to count past one, cuz. Your name a number.
Nah, I don't know how to count. I can say my ABCs.
Oh, for real? I gotta see that, cuz.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Hey, thank you for joining me here at Conversations with Taz. Tonight is the makeup show for Freeform Friday. Sorry, your girl was very much so under the weather last night, but you know how this party is. We got some blonde reacts, also with some late breaking updates and some commentary that, couldn't be covered during the week. So now we know Trump's big announcement was yet another huge grift. But so many people are so done with him, and I'm so here for it. Y'all take a look.
This video, which is a substantive video, it's a good policy platform for 2024. But to do that when this stupid NFT thing was dropped the same day, I had Sargon of Akkad on my show today, and I said, "Hey, what do you think of this new First Amendment video from the president?" He said, "What First Amendment video?" This is a guy who follows American politics with a magnifying glass. And as soon as I saw this thing drop, I texted Mar-a-Lago. I texted the comm team and I said, "Who the hell had the idea for this NFT thing?" And then I get a response from the team, no name, saying, "Oh, it's a business partner of the president's." What? I didn't run it past Mar-a-Lago. I mean, the sheer insanity. We need serious people because the republic's fabric is in danger. If Steve Bannon isn't at Mar-a-Lago, if Newt Gingrich isn't at Mar-a-Lago, at least Kash Patel or somebody sane should say, "Guys, just can you hold the Superman, cartoons until we've got some freedom of speech back first?"
Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve,
By the way, screw the business part. I want to hear about that right now. This thing was so powerful, and you're absolutely correct. People have been blowing up on the NFT. We're going to play that in a second. Nobody even talked about this. This is the most substantial policy thing he's come out with.
No, a substantial and correct policy address was completely drowned out by marginalia, right? And what we need right now is maniacal focus. Why? Because we are losing our country.
But we will not. We could talk about how we didn't need to pay the $99 sticker price for these digital images because we just did the perfectly legal action of right-clicking on them and using copy-paste.
Now, this First Amendment plan Trump has is an homage to Nazi Germany circa 1938. He basically wants to police the freedom of speech of everyone who is not a staunch Trump conservative. And they're melting down now because that message was drowned out because of Trump's latest grift. Now, we're going to continue to talk about the Trump cards and the NFTs and how they're touting that they've been sold out. You cannot sell out of something that doesn't physically exist, but okay. It's all good. For this next one, if you live in Oregon or you know someone who lives in Oregon, please, 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 please pay attention and beware. Please share this, even if people just watch this next segment, but I do have to put in a trigger warning. We do have a release of a rapist coming up, and his crimes will be described. So if you need to, walk away for about 7 minutes.
This is Richard Gilmore, also known as the Jogger Rapist. He's a serial rapist known to jog around the residential areas of East Portland, Gresham, and Troutdale, hunting for a victim. His victims ranged in ages, some as young as 13 years old. Once he picked his victim, he would watch them through the windows of their home, waiting for them to be alone. This could take days, but eventually he would break in, beat them, and ultimately rape them. This Friday, December 16th, 2022, Richard Gilmore will be released from prison as a Level 1 sex offender. Level 1 sex offenders are deemed the lowest risk to reoffend. This is a level often given to people who solicit sex or publicly urinate. It doesn't sound fitting for someone who raped multiple teenagers. Here in Oregon, this level is determined by a 10-question form called a Static 99. Now, I'll make another video if you're interested in learning more about that form, but the gist of it is every answer to every question has a certain number of points it can earn. The lower the points, the lower the level. The higher the points, the higher the level. One of the many issues of determining a sex offender level based on this form is that some of the questions are asked specifically about the crimes the perpetrator was convicted for. Richard Gilmore was convicted of the crimes he committed against one person, a 13-year-old girl named Tiffany Edens. After he was arrested, he admitted to raping 8 other girls and women. Due to the statute of limitations at the time, which was a measly 3 years, he would never be accountable for those rapes. Level 1 sex offenders can move freely once they're released. No one will ever be notified if he moves in next door. He could move into a neighborhood next to a school, and they would not be notified. And while the Oregon government doesn't seem to take issue with this, his many victims and those of us who see the many flaws with the parole board system have a lot to say. I recently did a podcast episode about this case, which included interviews with 2 of the victims. Check out the Murder in the Rain episode Unprecedented if you want to hear more about it. But if you're not a podcast fan, I'm also going to do some videos here on TikTok, so stay tuned, and I apologize in advance, there will be multiple parts. Richard Gilmore, the Jogger Rapist, is being released from prison on December 16th, 2022. In my last video, I explained how he's being released as a Level 1 sex offender. This is why churches, schools, and neighbors will not be notified if he moves in. So let me tell you about him. In November of 1979, 17-year-old Daniel Tudor, a senior at David Douglas High School in Portland, Oregon, was home alone watching a movie in her basement when she heard a noise outside. At first, she dismissed it, but then she saw the doorknob to the basement door begin to turn. She watched on as the door was kicked in by an unfamiliar man. They locked eyes for a few moments. She ran upstairs, and he seemingly ran away from the house. Danielle immediately shut herself in her parents' room and called the operator, hoping to get connected to police. At the time, 911 was not yet available. As she was on the phone with police, being reassured that it was probably a mistake, the man re-entered the house and she saw him in the hallway. He charged her, beating her with a giant stick before raping her. The man eventually left and the police arrived, unfortunately not in time to catch him. Danielle helped police put together a composite sketch while they searched for the perpetrator. It would turn out that Danielle would be the third victim in a string of 8 rapes from her neighborhood, all committed by the same man. These rapes were never on the news and never communicated to the residents. Even though there were no leads, officers kept the composite sketch of the perpetrator. One officer made a routine traffic stop and noticed that the driver looked a lot like the sketch. He didn't have any reason to arrest him, so he noted his name on the picture and moved on with his day. Eventually, the case went cold and the composite sketch went into storage. But 7 years later, police would have another chance when the same man would go on to rape another girl, 13-year-old Tiffany Edens. In my last video, I discussed the rape of a 17-year-old girl named Danielle Tudor who was attacked in her own home by a man later identified as Richard Gilmore. She was the third of 8 attacks in her own neighborhood, and 7 years later, the man would attack again in a neighborhood in Troutdale, Oregon. On December 5th, 1986, 13-year-old Tiffany Edens was home alone in Troutdale, Oregon, doing chores so that she could have a sleepover with a friend later that night. She was not aware that there was a man watching her through her window. While she cleaned, the music that she had blaring was abruptly cut off. When she went into the other room to investigate, she was startled when she saw an unfamiliar man holding a blanket. He then attacked her and wrapped the blanket around her head. He groped her, ripped her shirt off, and then assaulted her. Once the man ran away, Tiffany ran to a neighbor so that they could call police. This time, the investigation would go differently. Police were aware that there was an open case with a string of 8 assaults, so they came to the scene prepared with scent dogs. The dogs immediately picked up the perpetrator's scent and followed it to the backyard of a man named Richard Gilmore. This was a name that was very familiar to police. One officer actually lived in the same neighborhood as Richard Gilmore and talked to him about applying for the Gresham police. Another remembered the old composite sketch that happened to have the name Richard Gilmore written on it. Now that they had a name to the face, it was easy to connect the dots of the wake of victims he left behind, but time was not on their side. Richard Gilmore was arrested for the burglary and assault of Tiffany Edens, but unfortunately, the clock had run out for the other 8 victims. Due to the 3-year statute of limitations, he would never be prosecuted for those crimes. Luckily, he received 60 years for Tiffany's assault. Unluckily, that was slashed in half the very next year. By 2007, after multiple failed attempts, he was granted parole. The only reason he remained in prison until this year is because his victims spoke out against him. Year after year, they told their story to the parole board so that he would be stopped from release. They even sued the parole board. But Friday, December 16th, he will be free. If you live in the Portland area, please be aware that he is still a threat. He'll be residing in Old Town for a few months, but after that, we won't know. Remember that face.
So yes, please, please, please be aware if you are in and around the Portland, Oregon area, if you know anyone in the Portland, Oregon area, yeah. Now, moving on to less horrendous news. Back to the Trump cards, because it's entertaining to me. There are quite a few videos. We're going to run through all of them, and then I'm going to come back and give you my little 2 cents. Okay? Okay. See you in 2 and 2.
So Trump has announced his collectible NFT trading cards. Let's check in with MAGA to see how they're celebrating the big announcement.
Now, they're called Trump digital trading cards.
Okay.
These cards
I can't do
feature
this
some
anymore.
of the...
I can't do this anymore. He's one of the greatest presidents in history, but I got to tell you, whoever, what business partner, and anybody in the comms team, and anybody in Mar-a-Lago, and I love the folks down there, but we're at war. They ought to be fired today. You came out with something that's so important, which I still don't think gets to the heart of it. And hey, you don't have three harder cores than Cortez, Bannon, and Seb Gorka. So when they're, and we're getting blown up all day on this. Seb, walk me through it. Walk me through your assessment of this, sir.
Never should have happened. I mean, look, it's fun, it's hyperbolic, but whoever wrote that pitch should be fired and should never be involved in any. I don't want them making the presidential napkins for Mar-a-Lago. Okay, anybody who came up with that. And the president's war chest is pretty strong right now. We've got 2 years until the actual inauguration. We don't have time to waste. If you want to do this kind of stuff, have a peon do it. Okay, get somebody who's recognized in the MAGA world to put their face to this thing and do it. But the president should not be involved with this. When we
blame the comms team, honey, Trump is the comms team. Look at these. Why would you not want to collect these cool America alpha male trading cards? Because it's embarrassing. And I can't believe 74 million people voted for this grifter.
This is hilarious. The far-right news network Newsmax reacted to Donald Trump's hyped-up major announcement, which just turned out to be him releasing trading cards, and they sound so disappointed. Take a look at the video.
Quickly. So that is his major announcement. Many thought it would be political. Many thought it would be about maybe creating a new party. I mean, there was so much speculation on this, but it's not that. It's a digital trading card.
It's $99, and he said it would make a great Christmas gift. So,
there's a bunch of them.
Interesting timing for that.
Yeah, there you go. That's that. There's the announcement.
And
what are people doing with those? Are they like printing them out like these pieces of art and framing them?
The Trump trading cards. Yes, they sold out within 24 hours. Two possibilities here. Possibility number one, there are still enough cult members left who just, have a kink for being grifted. Or possibility number two, we don't know who purchased them. It would be a very, very clever way of laundering money to Donald Trump, maybe in exchange for something. Or maybe it would be Donald Trump and his associates buying the NFTs themselves in order to get some clean cash. Just a theory.
So not only are these a bunch of weird NFTs that Trump made, and the value has dropped on some of them down to 10 cents, but he stole the photos and photoshopped them. Like more than half of them are just stolen images he's just photoshopped onto, and people are finding them easily on like stock photos. So not only in 48, 72 hours or something like that, I don't even know, are most of the cards worthless. But Trump is probably going to face a lawsuit behind this.
Well, folks, if you were looking to buy one of Donald Trump's limited edition NFT trading cards, I got some bad news. They're sold out. In less than 24 hours, Donald Trump's NFT collection sold out, netting him, or grossing him, I guess. I don't know which one it is. But anyway, $4.45 million he conned his supporters out of. Totally gone. You can't get them. Sorry, folks. But Donald Trump gets to walk away with $4.5 million. For now. Because there is a chance he could end up losing all of that money because according to reports, he may have stolen those images. Matthew Sheffield, a correspondent for the Young Turks, put together a Twitter thread showing that Donald Trump's NFT, like non-fungible token images that are supposed to be original creations that you sell, might actually be stolen from sites like Amazon. The first one he pointed out was the one of Donald Trump dressed as a cowboy. And he showed that there's actually a cowboy costume available on Amazon in 2 different colors. And when you put the 2 images together, you basically get the image of Trump. Even the hands are identical to the one in the product picture from Amazon.com. So it's pretty obvious. They took the collar off one of the images. They took the rest of it off the other, put them together, slapped Trump's face on it poorly, and that's an NFT. If you're using somebody else's work and claiming it as your own and selling it for a profit, you can 100% be sued for that. And because this was a product on Amazon, not a stock image that they purchased, that is actually an actionable, legally speaking, problem. So Donald Trump could easily be sued for stealing someone else's images for his NFTs. Now, then he goes on and he shows the the astronaut picture. And he says, the Trump astronaut NFT image appears to have been a recolored image that was stolen from at Benny Direct, whatever. So he stole this one too. Then he goes on to the next one. The Trump fighter jet pilot NFT seems to be a Shutterstock image. Did they license it? Who knows? If they licensed it, they could technically sell it like that, but maybe not. And then
You guys are aware, Donald Trump is not selling those NFTs. It was another company that he licensed his image and his name to. Do you know what servers he's using? Cloudflare servers. Cloudflare is known for one thing and one thing only, and that's for being a global database for child bleep bleep bleep. Also, this smells suspiciously like money laundering. Just putting it out there.
Now, as far as lawsuits are concerned, Muscles and Nursing, if you're not following him on TikTok, please go give him a follow. He's amazing. Chef's kiss. Here's the thing. As we discussed the other night, we've seen these images. If you paid attention to any of the Trump propaganda stuff, like I said, I've seen these images since Trump started running for office, wrapped on trucks and on signs and everything else. See, his sycophants went and started photoshopping it. Trump licensed somebody basically to go swoop up all of these and then make a few originals to sell. When you break it down and you actually look up the statistics from the site, first of all, on the website, if you resell these NFT trading cards, 10% of your profits have to go back to Trump. You're only supposed to be able to purchase 100 of them per household, period. There are people with over like close to 400. One person has 1,000 of them. It's beginning to smell a lot like money laundering. Because let's not forget, you had the original FBI warrant to Mar-a-Lago where they said, oh, we don't have any documents. Then there was another warrant where they did find documents. Then recently, like I told y'all last week, they uncovered even more documents in a storage facility. Russian news has already admitted they saw what Trump has. I told y'all last week for the second time about the Mar-a-Lago scammer who was pretending to be a Rothschild. He sold it. He has to launder this money. He has legal bills to pay for. He has to try to clean up this money. And also, let's not forget, Trump plays dirty. Trump brings the dirtiest people around him to be his right and left hand men and women. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that some of these purchases are also payoffs. Now, are there legitimately fans of Trump that have made purchases? Yes, because they're way too proud to talk about it on the internet and on Truth Social. Excuse me, and on Twitter, they're losing their shit because they've made these purchases and can't find their NFTs. They go to their online wallet, nothing is there. And once again, you can't sell out of something that's not tangible. That's like saying that all of a sudden the world ran out of dust. He is the grift that keeps grifting. And they keep, like, how do you complain about not being able to make rent, not being able to put gas in your car, all of this stuff, but you can come up with between $100 to $1,000 to buy digital trading cards that you saw, where I played the clip from MSNBC from the Joy Reid show, where you can right click, copy, paste. And you can't, according to the website, you're not supposed to print them out. They've decreased in value tremendously. So you bought them for $100. One person, a few hours after they purchased it, took to the internet to claim that they were up $150. First of all, this is the same thing I tell gamblers. Subtract what you put in. That's what you up. Ugh. Yeah, but now I think they're between 10 to 50 cents. 10 to 50 cents. After we already saw people losing their shirts over digital currency. I brought y'all the story of the gentleman getting arrested in the Bahamas for running a cyber currency company. We're seeing millionaire investors beginning to lose their shirts over Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and everything. But people really thought this was a good idea. Oh, that's right, because they believe that Trump is a good businessman. At this point, I don't even think Trump can spell Trump. But remember, I told y'all, he did release a video regarding his platform. I don't even know how to set up this video. We're just going to roll it.
I guess we spoke too soon. Trump just released his authoritarian announcement, and it's scary and delusional. Have a listen. I'm going to edit it the best I can so I can fit it in. It's long.
Here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interference in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year calling-off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. Thank you, and God bless America.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Let's opt out of moderation and censorship, meaning that hate speech will run rampant. And the FBI wasn't sending information to Twitter. If you've been following the Twitter files, I try to give updates on it here as I can. But Twitter is a hellscape right now. Twitter was working with the FBI to ensure that before the January 6th insurrection, people were not using Twitter as they were using Facebook to plan the insurrection. His rules basically would give his followers carte blanche to terrorize and demonize everyone across the globe. If you think account warnings, account banning is bad now, for those of us that are not problematic, those of us that are not racist, homophobic, transphobic, etc., if you think the death threats are bad now, if this were to come to fruition, it wouldn't matter what we did. Just seeing our faces, they could bombard us and have us removed. And for those that thought that I was joking, by putting out that Trump idolizes Hitler and is utilizing Hitler's tactics that Hitler learned from the Jim Crow South in the United States, if this does not show you, I don't know what will. He only sounds intelligent because he's literally just translating out Hitler rules. I mean, he's just going through the points of fascism. You can train a monkey to sign that. But there's more. There's always more when it comes to Trump. There's always more.
We have a former president who lost and is now running again after not being president for 4 years. Those are not common circumstances. In addition, that former president who's running again is losing in early polling to a guy who hasn't even announced that he's running for anything, Ron DeSantis. So this is really an unprecedented situation. Now, I get emails from people saying, David, I generally am hearing, oh, this could be bad for Trump. This could go bad. What are the most present, I guess I would say, risks of how this could go poorly? Okay, let's go through them in no particular order. Number one, Trump might, and it appears that he will, face significant opposition from within the Republican Party. Some Republicans see Trump's candidacy as, we like the policy. And I know that's hilarious. It's like, what policy? We like the policy, but Trump is divisive. Trump is damaging to the Republican Party's chances of winning. We don't think he can win. And this is part of what former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh told us yesterday. They like Trumpism, but they just don't know that Trump can win. They're just not sure about it. So that's number one.
No, Trump can't win. You saw that in the midterms. The midterm elections saw people that were handpicked by Trump, that were staunch Trumplicans, lose. And what are they doing once again? Wasting taxpayer money. Carrie Lake is now trying to sue all these other things. They're crying, it's a rigged election, it's a rigged election. And the fact that people are still falling for it when other Republicans won, because if you're going to rig something, you're rigging it for your whole party to win. If it was rigged, there wouldn't have been a runoff election in Georgia. Trump cannot win because Trump has gone too far to the extreme. Also, Trump, even though conservatives want to maintain the status quo and in most instances roll back the hands of time, one thing I I hate to do this, but I have to give Trump credit for one thing. He understands that the Conservative Party has been able to stay in the power that they've had because they know what their talking points are and they leave them as a talking point. The Supreme Court this year, as well as Ron DeSantis, have taken those talking points and put them into action. And there are too many people right now that have these war fantasies and, oh, the South is going to rise again. Texas is going to become its own country. We're going to fight for our rights. To do what? To be poor and broke? And people are eating it up right now. People are eating it up. But even with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, we're seeing how it's more of a detriment to the GOP than anyone else. Texas is fighting for its life to hide the statistics regarding maternity morbidity. And everyone that previously told DeSantis, no, you don't want to run this cycle, wait till 2028. Trump is going to crush you into the ground. DeSantis has sat back and been quiet. One, DeSantis has his own set of litigation to deal with. Two, DeSantis knows that if he just lets Trump talk and lets Trump do what Trump's going to do, Trump is going to talk him out of that golden voice seat. And as long as DeSantis continues to be racist, although he is a descendant of a melanated immigrant, as long as he shows that he's willing to cosplay white man and be the white man at the table that's going to bring back Jim Crow, he's fine. And conservatives are even now talking about they should work to rescind the 17th Amendment, which takes away women's rights to vote, specifically white women. But hey, as I always say, take a look at the Constitution. Look at the one demographic in this country that was never written in to be viewed as a human being. But yeah, do what you do. Yeah, y'all still want to keep marrying them, and you Texans that keep going, we can sustain ourselves. First of all, you get way too much government assistance, number one. And you forget the U.S. military, United States-based companies will all be moving out. All of those, and you're like, oh, well, we import that. No, the United States imports that. All of that will be gone. Y'all can't keep a grid together. How are y'all going to sustain yourself as a country? The last time you were great as a country was before you had any ties to the United States and its colonies when you belonged to Mexico. Now, unless you're willing to turn yourself back over to Mexico, shut up. Y'all sound like a bunch of kindergartners sitting out at the lunch table on the playground at recess, thinking that the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus gonna come together and high five with the Easter Bunny and save you. What the hell? What the hell? Like, y'all supposed to be adults. But given all the book burnings and bannings and everything else y'all doing in Texas, I understand why y'all barely have a half a brain cell to rub together. And those of y'all with brain cells in Texas, my heart goes out to you. It does. You know, can y'all just go back to the days of the higher the hair, the closer to Jesus? Y'all were entertaining then. Y'all were cute then. Because this ain't it. But we got our first blonde react coming up. Let's go.
I'm passing the phone to someone who has extremely long toe hair and just refuses to shave it. I'm passing the phone to someone who everyone she dates turns out to be gay. I'm passing the phone to someone who used to hump their pillow as a child. I'm passing the phone to someone whose boyfriend cheated on them with a man and she still stayed with him after that. I'm passing the phone to someone who puts soap on their finger and then fingers their vagina. I'm passing the phone to someone who gets addicted to quite literally everything. Look at her face. Well, I'm gonna pass the phone to someone that literally threw up on a guy's dick when she was giving him head. I'm passing the phone to someone who hooked up with their first cousin. I'm passing the phone to someone who threw up on themselves at the Suicide Boys concert while we were waiting in line. I'm passing the phone to someone that went to a guy's house and accidentally clogged his toilet, so she fished her shit out of the toilet and put her in her purse. Okay, I'm passing the phone to someone who is pregnant right now but doesn't know who the father is. I'm passing the phone to someone who pulls out their hair. I'm passing the phone to someone that collects her coochie hair after she shaves it to do spells with it. I'm passing the phone to someone who didn't start washing their butthole until we were making fun of other people for not doing it. I'm passing the phone to somebody who sent their nudes to their family group chat instead of their boyfriend because it was like right next to each other. I'm passing the phone to someone that greened out from a cart. I'm passing the phone to someone on the very first day that I met them, told me they thought they were pregnant. I'm passing the phone to someone that just keeps on buying cucumbers instead of getting a real dildo. I'm passing the phone to somebody who popped all their tires on their car but doesn't even have their license yet. I'm passing the phone to someone who used to be a wolf girl. I'm passing the phone to somebody who used to be a horse girl. I'm passing the phone to someone who has gone back to their ex not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'm passing the phone to someone that literally full-on pissed their bed when they're 18 years old. I'm passing the phone to someone whose mom calls them poopy pants because they shit their pants yesterday. I'm passing the phone to somebody who has a 3rd nipple. Yup. Let me know if you guys want to see it.
What? It just progressively kept getting worse. Do y'all hate me? Like, y'all back on y'all bullshit. Was sending me crazy. What the? Y'all were doing so well with just the joke. That she pooped herself yesterday. And one is using cute. What? I am not okay. I am. What? How did it keep getting worse? How did it keep getting worse? How did the first cousin? I'm gonna have to rethink the whole blonde react thing now, cause what? I think my soul is floating above me right now. Let's I don't even know where to go. What are we gonna do now? Uh, um, uh, uh, um, uh, uh, um, uh, 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 let's just go to the Trump. What is? I don't know. It's something Trump. I don't. Let's. I'm gonna go get some water. Yeah. We'll be back.
Hide the ketchup! Trump's coming for Jack Smith. Jack Smith is silently grinding away at indicting him, and it is killing Trump. The Eric Holder Obama disciple special prosecutor, Jack Smith, he's no Jack Smith, has found nothing that I have done wrong or differently than any other presidents on the boxes hoax raid of Mar-a-Lago, including the fact that presidents are protected under the Presidential Records Act, the Clinton Sox case, and more. Now Smith is snooping around the perfect phone call I made to the Georgia Secretary of State challenging the corrupt presidential election results. My absolute right to do. Trump is coming undone, and the walls are painted in red.
Okay. Okay. First of all, the Presidential Records Act means that you tell them what records you want to take. They're stored securely and moved and handled by NARA. And generally, presidents take records that help them write a memoir. They don't just sneak them out of the White House to a resort that they decided to live in like it's an extended stay. We're going to try another blind react. I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
This shit on Facebook just fucking killed me. Dear Santa, I am writing this on the day after Xmas and I am very sad. I only received one of the 2 presents I asked for. Since you ate my cookies, I will assume that my missing gift was a mistake. I will give you 1 week to fix this, Jeremy. Dear Jeremy, I am sorry you are disappointed with your presents. You asked for 2 very expensive presents and Santa can only do so much. You need to learn to be grateful for what you have, not upset about what you don't. If you continue to complain, I will have no choice but to add you to the naughty list next year, Santa. Dear Fatty, your threats don't scare me. I played your game and you did not deliver. This is not okay. I will give you 1 week and then you will pay. Jeremy. P.S. I don't know why you care that it's expensive when you have elf slaves to make things for you. I think you are naughty for having slaves. Period, Jeremy. Tell that fat bitch. Dear Jeremy, you are being a very bad little boy because you cannot be happy with what you have. I have talked to your parents and told them to take away your Wii U. Wow, fucking dick move. Now you have nothing. Once you learn to be grateful, perhaps you can have it back. I am very disappointed in you, Jeremy. You will need to be an extra good boy this year if you want to make it back on the nice list. And this shit's still going. Dear Santa, I do not like that stunt you pulled in my pants. You are on my naughty list. Now be afraid. You look slow and easy to kill. Enjoy your cookies next year because they will be poisoned. I hope you die. Jeremy was not fucking playing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, Jeremy has some good points there. Jeremy has some good points. Santa, you didn't have to be a dick like that. You're gonna take away his 1 toy that he got. Why you did a boy like that? Okay, okay. All right, everybody is redeemed for that one. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and a billy goat. He said he gonna poison Santa. I guess all 2023 we can be bad. Or is it like the Santa Claus and we just get a new Santa? Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know all the rules. Oh my goodness. Okay. He ran Santa for Bell. He ran Santa for Bell. He said you look slow and easy to. Okay. Okay, on to a kid that should still be on the naughty list. Don Jr.
He's able to say this with a straight face and zero sense of irony.
Parents finally dropped them from the cell phone plan or dropped them from their insurance, and now they got to function in the big person world for the first time ever. It's actually hilarious how they react to any challenge, any adversity, and it's actually really scary for the future of our country because I imagine a lot of this aligns up with that next generation. None of these kids these days, or these young, aspiring journalists or whatever, they've never functioned in the real world, and they live in some sort of fake utopia. So the parents of these journalists going to start calling into the Washington Post to complain because their child didn't get a participation medal. They did run a paper into the ground with their woke nonsense, and now we get to hear about their pouty, whiny voices. I mean, it sounds like a high school right now. People aren't getting their way, so they're going to complain. And guess what, folks?
Now, the man who has crackulations, book 1 through 57, memorized, is not talking. The man that daddy's still paying his bills, the man that he had to run to when he got busted in multiple affairs, one with the young lady from the group Danity Kane. We're going to get into that tomorrow because she's spilling all the tea. Okay, I just got to gather a little bit more. I know he is not talking, and he's always crying about a participation trophy. His daddy is the biggest crier over participation trophy. Hello, election 2020 that they're still crying about to this day. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Okay. All right. Fingers crossed for this blind react. Fingers crossed. We can do this. We can do this. Y'all better not kill me on air. Here we go.
Bitch, I'm the best fries. Bitch, you are the basic bitch of fries. First of all, are we really gonna act like most of America ain't basic bitches? That's a good point, but you still ain't the best bitch. I don't see what you getting excited about, tater tots. Crinkle cut fries can literally stop gang violence. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. All right. Bitch, why are you saying come on like that? For real, bitch, you're making me uncomfortable. Come on, guys. You know I'm the best. I do not know that, no. Waffle fries will increase the chances of a double dip by 90%, bitch. I mean, come on. Everybody double dips. Come on. Okay, all y'all need to shut y'all's asses up. Greatness has arrived, bitch. I'm sorry, curly fries and potato wedges. We didn't even know y'all were gonna be here. Well, prepare better next time, bitch. Yes, Daddy, we will. Ha ha. Hey, guys. Oh, shit. Bitch, the one time Taco Bell gets something exactly right. We have the meat. That is not your slogan,
bitch! Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. We gonna make it through. We gonna make it through. Okay. From one online douchebag to another. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't, but there's a streamer that just exploded and is now like quadrupling down. Yeah. Buckle up. It's gonna be a very bumpy ride. Here we go.
So I can't actually believe this is real, but there's a streamer known as We Found the Body, and he was streaming. He saw someone in his chat that goes by Miss Nerdy Kirby that he hadn't seen in a while, and so he said, "How have you been? Like, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while." Unfortunately, she says, "Well, my mom died," which is extremely sad. And the streamer's response was this.
Not doing that in my fucking chat. Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Nerdy Kirby, you said, no, that's fine. You asked, so I told. No, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest fucking bummer news in the world. I said, hey, what's up? How are you? You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Kirby. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through. That's it.
He then made an apology, which made things worse. So a lot of people were asking me about the apology that I referenced at the end of my last video, so this is officially part 2. He tried apologizing twice. The first came on YouTube, which you can find unlisted, only through his Twitter. Everyone hated that. So then today, the most recent update is that he went live on Twitch to fully clarify everything. This is what he had to say.
I didn't unload on her because her mom died. Like, there's so many people being like, what a motherfucker. Why did you fucking did that? You're such a piece of shit. Just because her mom died, you treat her like shit? No. I treated her like shit because I don't like her.
So after having 2 full days to really think about this and getting feedback from thousands of creators across all platforms, the absolute best clarification that We Found the Body could come up with was, I'm not a heartless monster, no. I didn't unload on her because her mom died. I simply unloaded on her because I hate her. Somehow this guy has made things worse for himself through apologizing.
Now, because I love context. And the gaming world can be very toxic. That's why I deactivate my Twitch account very often. And if you think you're going to find me on Twitch, you're not. It's the one place that my username is completely different for reasons such as this. But you notice in the first video, he knew exactly who that young lady was. He knew that she was missing. If he didn't like her, he wouldn't have asked. They have gamed together before. This is giving me you were crushing on her and she just looked at you as a friend. This is giving very much walking in the mall. Hey, shawty, you look good. No, thank you. You a bitch anyway. That's what it's giving me. That is what it's giving me. It is giving me very much so that. And there was another portion from another one of his apology videos where he said that he was going to go to the Discord and go through the comments with popcorn. And this is why we say, yes, all men. And to know that someone's parent passed away, and I know everybody does not have great parents, but when somebody is affected by the death of anyone close to them, I don't care how much I dislike somebody. Yeah, that's just a dick move. That's a super dick move. That's a super dick move. And in the light of, oh, you don't just dump that on somebody. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if we don't get along. I don't care if we've never had a conversation. If you're going through something heavy, you can put it in the comment section. We can pause the show and get you together. We can get you right. We will try to uplift you the best way that we can. I have an amazing comment section. We will do that for you. Because making people feel like they can't talk about what's going on, especially when you outright ask them, where have you been? Yeah, that's no bueno around here. That's no bueno. Even if you just say, you know what, I'm just not feeling like myself right now. Cool. Cool. If you don't want to go into detail, cool. That's your business. That's your prerogative. But let me tell you, wherever you see my face, wherever I have a comment section, you don't have to worry about me blowing up on you like that. Now, if you come with disrespect when somebody is being vulnerable and sharing, yes, I will completely eviscerate your soul. Unapologetically. But yeah. And you know what? I'm going to use this story to lead into something, because a lot of times I talk about, I don't understand why people want to go back to the 50s and 60s, especially women. And when men, specifically men, talk about how their grandmothers did this and their great grandmothers and their mothers, depending on if they had a boomer mom or not. And I go, yeah, because she was hopped up on barbiturates. People always think that I'm exaggerating or I'm lying. Then I always find the receipts. Here we go.
You mean back when everyone wasn't medicated on 50 antidepressants?
Oh my god. You ever heard the phrase, mommy's little helper? It does not refer to children. Let's take a look back in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s at what mommy's little helper was. Emotional control regained, a family restored thanks to a doctor and Thorazine. A mom didn't want to play with her kids, but now she's back thanks to Pacatol. It's more fun being a mom when you have a little help. She can be reached at home with Meloril. Ritalin will help her with that chronic fatigue and apathy. You can't set her free, but you can make her less anxious with Cerex. For those ladies in distress, now there's Equinil. When nervous tension augments family problems, there's Butasol. Nerves jumpy, Miles Nervine helps you feel calm. Now she can cope. Now she can cook breakfast again. Get rid of chronic fatigue and mild depression with Ritalin. Or just get drunk out of your mind with Blatz. Yeah, see, because of things like abuse and isolation, life for women in that time period was horrific, and they had to be medicated to function.
But did you catch one glaring theme of all those ads? They weren't geared towards the actual women. They were geared towards the men in their lives. One that stuck out, you can't set her free. Then the other one, she can make breakfast again. It wasn't about healing women. It was about controlling women. So those out there that have this obsession with this time and you're like, oh, my grandma. Yeah, your grandma was high out of her mind because your granddaddy was making it that way. And let's also keep in mind that this was a period of time where women couldn't have a bank account, a mortgage, rent in their name, a credit card, even going to the doctor. Their husbands had to be there to say, excuse me, yay or nay if they could have a procedure or anything else. Because there was famously the first woman to become a governor in the United States. Her husband effectively killed her because during the campaign, she was diagnosed with cancer. The doctor told her husband, the husband never told her. She never received treatment. This woman died a painful, slow death so he could run the state with her as a facade because at the time you couldn't run back to back. Like, why do people think grandma didn't run away? Now, for those women that were not heavily medicated, that's why the granddaddy that you know may not have been biologically your granddaddy, but ain't nobody gonna talk about it because don't nobody know where your original granddaddy went. You can Google to find out what they were really doing with those cast iron skillets. So if you want an old school traditional woman, you can either have one that's going to shoot you, stab you, or bust you in the head with a cast iron skillet, or one that you just got to keep drugged up so she just doesn't have the will to leave. Now, I know if you live in the South, in some parts of the Midwest, there are doctors that will let you come into their office and tell them what you need and they'll write a prescription for whatever. But keep in mind, they're not going to actually give you any actual physicals. Make sure you stay alive. Because I know a woman who also died of cancer because she went to one of those doctors. And by the time she had to go to the emergency room and they found the cancer, it was all through her body. And I can tell you for the last month of her life, because I was there, she suffocated to death, basically. No bueno. But you know, your life, you're grown. And before they had all of that, yeah, they had opium and cocaine and Coca-Cola. Hey, Mr. Rogers. Yeah, feeling better today. Oh, quick story time. Because I can't just get regular sick like a regular person. Here's what happened. I was talking to a good friend. I was like, you know what? I'm a skedaddle. Take the peppers out for a walk. I had ordered some snacks. Snacks came. Had a flavored water. Cracked it open. Gulped it down. Body instantly went haywire. It was like throwing water on a robot. There was artificial sweetener in the flavored water, and evidently I can't have artificial sweeteners. It was not a good time last night. It was not a good time. My body was like 50 different temperatures all throughout it. Couldn't hold my head up. Yeah, yeah. It was a whole malfunction. I'm pretty sure there were sparks and steam coming out of my head the way that I felt. Like, and it was virtually instantaneous. Like, I kid you not, like I took the bottle, it was like by the time I swallowed, my body was like, bitch, you done fucked up. Yeah. But I'm back now and I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. I will just stick to the regular filtered water that I keep in the fridge. Yeah, I'm not gonna get fancy with it. Um, we're gonna keep it good. We're gonna keep it good. Oh yeah, they still, yeah, they're depending on what country you go to, you can still never mind. I don't need another community guidelines. All right, we got a short blind react. We gonna Lord, don't let them give me a heart attack on this show. Y'all started off with a bang.
I
Here
told Rachel I'm not doing that. It's not my job. Like, sometimes I just be like, damn, why they hire Rachel? You know what I'm saying? What you see up there? Nothing. It's a workout. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, so I was thinking about going to HR. But you know what I'm saying? They don't really even be doing too much about what we be trying to have going on in the office. I'm telling you, give it about 3 years, this company gonna go out of business. Then I ain't tell you, Rachel ate my fucking lunch. What? Yep. Of course you did. She ate my dog food.
Damn it, Rachel.
I don't know who Rachel is, but I don't like Rachel no more today either. Rachel, whoever you are, quit stressing that dog out. He gotta do yoga and have therapy all at the same time. I can't. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, remember earlier in the show, I told you that the GOP is so for getting rid of things that they need. Looks like the GOP needs abortions. And now they're trying to get creative in how to get an abortion where they don't, break the laws that they wanted so badly. I know, you're confused. You're confused. Okay? Give me 2 and 2.
So this Texas lawyer is being charged for drugging his wife and trying to force her to have an abortion. He's a Republican.
A shocking set of allegations against Houston energy and natural resource attorney Mason Herring made by his wife. The couple had separated earlier this year after 11 years of marriage, according to the prosecutor. Herring was not happy with the news that his wife was pregnant with their child back in March, and that's when it began, according to prosecutors. The first time, within 30 minutes of drinking water Herring brought to her in bed, she became very ill and went to the emergency room.
The complainant drank out of the cup and stopped to take a breath. She noticed the water appeared to be cloudy. She questioned the defendant about this. He stated perhaps the cup was dirty or the pipes were dirty.
At least 6 times over the course of just over a month, the woman says her husband brought her drinks that he encouraged her to drink. She didn't, instead keeping them as evidence.
The complainant stated that the defendant gave her a bottle of orange juice, and she observed that the seal of the bottle was broken.
Surveillance cameras inside their home caught Herring putting a powdered substance from a bag in his pocket into a drink that he gave her, according to the prosecutor. She also found opened blister packs that contained Cyrex, the Mexican pharmaceutical that contains the drug misoprostol, in their trash.
She observed the defendant cleaned out his truck and took the trash out to the curb. She stated this was out of character for the defendant, as he does not do chores around the house. When the defendant left, the complainant went to the trash can to see what was inside.
Herring is now charged with assault of a pregnant person and assault, forced induction to have an abortion. He's out on a $30,000 bond. His attorney says they're looking forward to defending against these allegations in court. The baby survived and was born slightly premature, but officials say the child is healthy and doing well.
But keep telling you, you can ban them all you want, but rich men will do whatever rich men want to do.
When willful incompetence comes back to bite you in the ass. But also a few months ago, if you remember, when Roe v. Wade was first overturned, I brought you a story of a former worker actually several that used to work at abortion clinics, and they stated that the rich women and the rich men with their mistresses, their daughters, etc., they would come before the clinics would open and get their abortions, or they would have doctors write it off as something else. See, they're going to continue to get abortions. It'll just show up on their medical records as something else. And see, everybody's talking about HIPAA regarding medical professionals on the internet and disclosing a name or diagnoses. Here's a caveat of HIPAA. Little lesser known fact, I was working in healthcare when HIPAA was first introduced. So my training was very extensive. And if you know me personally, you know I don't just read through stuff. I dissect it. I got to look it up. I have to make sure I can comprehend every single word of everything, and I cross-reference everything. Plus, that's just how my brain works to learn things. I have to thoroughly be able to understand it and implement it into life for it to stick. You can have your medical records deleted. You can say, you know what? Only this doctor can have access to this and no one else. You can say, you know what? I don't want this in my file. Now, you do have to put it in writing, and all this other stuff is just not, just like you can have things noted in your file under HIPAA. Like if you go in and you tell a doctor, hey, I'm allergic to this medication, please do not give me this medication, and they want to act like you don't know, you can have it noted. Or if you say, hey, I've been to this emergency room 3 times, you all still have not run these tests on me, you can have it noted that you're being denied the testing. It's a lot deeper than the surface level that everybody talks about. Catch what I'm putting down? But yes, he was upset Now, why they got separated, don't know, don't care, not my business. But they were separated. But, dude, you're in the house. You could have just signed away your custodial rights. Oh, that's right. You don't want to pay child support. Maybe strap it up. Or, I don't know, marry someone you actually love and respect. That's an option. That is an option. But I would say stay away from conservative men, because women in relationships with conservative men, just like women in relationships with cops, have a higher probability of being in a domestic violence incident or losing their life. Or, as we're learning now, being forced to abort a baby. But I thought, protect all children. At conception, it's a life. Now, if this child goes to college, just undergraduate, you got 24 years of child support, and now you have a child that knows that you did not want them here. Whoo. Whoo. And since a lot of white people have kids for the sole purpose of those kids growing up to take care of them, woo. Sounds like you're going to be in a yurt in the middle of the forest, my guy. If they put you in a yurt. Because, and this is why I always tell people, I do not care who it is. I don't care if it's me giving you a drink. Please look at it. You know what you drink on the regular. And when you're out with people, get beverages that you regularly drink. If you want to experiment and try something, try it at home, please. So you know the color, the taste, and the smell. And how you react to it. Because I know if I have a sugary drink, I'm going to get a little hyper. If I'm out in public and I take a sip of a sugary drink and I'm still, or I start getting mellow, oh, we got a problem. And before I pass out, you're going to catch these hands. Because if I'm going to pass out, you passing out with me. Whatever you plan to do, you're not going to be able to do it tonight, little buddy. Now, from one idiot to the next, there was a huge January 6th insurrectionist oopsie. Calling it an oopsie because I can't say the word that I want to say, even though this is an 18 and over channel. But this is a quick one. Take a look.
This is one of those moments when a judge is like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have been lenient on him because he's white. And it was most likely Antifa. It was a casual protest. We're standing up for their rights." A Tennessee man who was previously arrested for assaulting law enforcement on January 6th has been rearrested for planning to attack an FBI office and kill law enforcement personnel. It's almost like maybe you shouldn't have been lenient and let him out of prison. Kelly, 33, is facing assault charges for 1-6, has been additionally charged with conspiracy, retaliating against a federal official, interstate communication of threat, and solicitation to commit a crime of violence.
This is why I always say, when you let somebody slide and you keep giving them slaps on the wrist, they're going to escalate. Silence is compliance. And when you teach someone and show them that they're above the law, they're going to keep upping the ante. Learn something from serial killers, people. Learn things from people who commit grand larceny. Because these people will start off with $5 from petty cash, then $20 from a register, then $50 from this, then $1,000 from that. I'm just saying, look at Paul Whelan. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Just let it float around the universe. Okay, I think. All right. Whew. Is that? Hold on. Okay. Got another blind react. Before the blind react, as always, check out the links in the description of this video. If you have not already, go over to my link tree. There is a blog there. I think my blog is pretty awesome. Go ahead and follow that, subscribe to that. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so that you are updated on all of the videos coming up. And regarding the Atatiana Jefferson murder trial, there is a video uploaded with an update. It is in the miscellaneous commentary section of this page, and the actual sentencing will be handed out Monday after 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once it is up there, of course, I'll drop a video, either in miscellaneous commentary or in the news. But like I said, if you click the bell and you're subscribed, you'll get it immediately. And I will be with you all tomorrow starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Sunday sit down. Now, the next couple weeks are going to be a little different because we're running off of the holiday schedule. So a lot of my normal co-hosts you will not see because they'll be traveling with family, all of that good stuff. Yay! I'm not really big on this time of the year, so I'm still going to come and mix it up with y'all. Content just might be a little different. Depending on what's found and the topics that you put out. I did have a request to break down when college in the United States was free. So I'll be working on that the majority of the day tomorrow to give it to you either tomorrow or Monday. So you'll have it here and probably just a snippet on TikTok because I'm going to get all in depth with it. So yeah, I think that's all of the updates. Sorry. But let's why is this one so long? Okay, now I'm afraid all over again. All right. Okay. Mama didn't raise no bitch. Let's go.
I'm pro-life,
Love that for you.
but feel like my life has gone downhill ever since Roe overturned.
Huh. Interesting.
My fiance left me, and my family no longer talks to me. I lost about 70% of my friends, and the ones I do have barely talk to me.
Good.
I'm being ignored at work now because my coworkers saw me at a party drinking and blowing up fireworks to celebrate the overturn.
This is why we hate you.
And what hurts the most is that my little sister, who I've helped raise, no longer wants a relationship with me. Every time I post something vaguely pro-life, she comments and says that I should either get a vasectomy or shut up. I always respond with
I don't know why I expected this. I expected this to be a woman.
I always respond with I can't because I'll be giving her a niece or a nephew someday, and that she should be thankful for that. And she should be ashamed for shutting out her big brother. But unfortunately, I cannot find a decent woman around here.
Oh, he's an incel too.
They always ghost me or tell me off for being pro-life. I miss walking next to someone. I miss sex.
This guy is saying he's not getting laid because Roe v. Wade got overturned.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good. It worked. The Instagram thing of like ladies don't have sex worked, I guess.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still content with Roe being overturned, but it cost me everything. Babies are being saved, and I'm so glad about that, but it doesn't change the fact that I miss how my life was before the overturn. Guess you could say that I'm punching the air right now.
Oh. So he's a Reddit user. He unironically used the phrase, guess I could say I'm punching the air right now. That's insane.
Uh-huh.
What a bad person.
Yeah.
This is why
we hate you. Yeah.
Cancel culture works.
Yeah.
This is perfect of like, I'm getting reprimanded for having deplorable takes. Guess I should change my takes then.
But free speech though.
Yeah, you're free to not get laid, weirdo.
Yeah, dude, that's what drives me. It's the people that are like, I'm all about freedom. They're the only one that fucking care and like you make such a big fucking stink about it. You guys are losers. You're bozos.
Absolute bozos.
You want to force women to give birth. So all this time you hid your thoughts and your beliefs from everyone around you until the government gave you your way. And you're talking about you can't find a decent. You're not even a decent man. You know what? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I can't. What? What? No. as always, thank you for joining me here on Conversations with Taz. Till tomorrow for the Sunday sit down.
Are you ready for? Now that's what I call a grift. 5 of Trump's most memorable moments in one powerful packed NFT trading card collection. Move into a new dimension with 45's one-on-one with the eclipse. Enjoy the unforgettable moment of Donald Trump looking directly at an eclipse. Now you can have all your favorite memories like, can you drink it with Trump and friends? Join Trump in trying to drink out of a water bottle with this one-of-a-kind NFT. Show toppers like Putin's dinner with Donald Trump. Spend a memorable evening reminiscing Trump's special time with Putin with this priceless NFT. Delivering the biggest moments that you crave, the Stormy Daniels. Enjoy an unforgettable NFT of Trump explaining how he has the tiniest mushroom in the forest. But to get them, call the number on your screen. But don't wait too long, or you will miss the chance to win the most incredibly rare special golden edition collection of That Hair is a Horcrux. To order, call the number on your screen, or send check or money order to the amount shown, plus shipping and handling. Must be 18 or older to call.